morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice for Radio. So today, well, we got a bunch of news to catch up on, ladies and gentlemen, some really exciting news. So let's have a gander, shall we? Now, I was hoping for some Dream League reveals today. Unfortunately, not happened yet. We've still only seen the Solgaleo and Lunala. But we have been shown a booster box image of Dream League, so at least we can learn some stuff about that. The first thing to note here, and this is really rather important, in a shocking twist that nobody could have seen coming, and I definitely have not mentioned several times in my videos, the Dream League artwork we saw previously on the booster pack was not dummy artwork, it was in fact the real artwork. When they called it dummy artwork, what they really meant was not final artwork, subject to change. It was still very much what they wanted to do, but they had the word dummy on there just as a kind of, well, just in case we change anything. And while we're here, worth pointing out that there seems a rather obvious team up here between Dream League and Pokemon Masters. Pokemon Masters is that new mobile game where it's basically incorporating a whole bunch of Pokemon trainers from throughout the games, and they're all bringing their signature Pokemon with them. And given that Solgaleo and Lunala GX has Lillion, and given that the artwork we've seen very much tells us that we're going to be getting a Reshiram and Zekrom Tag Team GX with N, though I'm still not 100% sure what Roxy and Coughing or Red and Pikachu are doing. Still waiting on a verdict for that one. Yeah, it's not quite so obvious. With Lily, it's Lily. She's got 2 legendaries, boom, Tag Team GX. With N, it's like N, he's got 2 legendaries, boom, Tag Team GX. Not quite so sure about Roxy and Coughing, Red and Pikachu. But the point is, there seems to be a fairly obvious, if nothing else, joint marketing push between the two. You cannot tell me that a mobile game focused around trainers from throughout the ages releasing at the same time as a card set, which seems to have a focus on trainers from throughout the ages, is a coincidence. I don't think it is, ladies and gentlemen. But we've seen the artwork here on the booster box, and we can see that there are 3 Pokemon that have been confirmed now. And this happens every single time. We get a booster box image, and it's always slanted at this side, and we always see the artwork from 3 cards that are going to be coming in the set. And we can see that we are getting a Clefairy, which gives us a 100% chance of getting a Clefable in the set. We are going to be getting a Gallade, and we are going to be getting a Magneton, which seems to suggest we will be getting a Magnezone. Now, Clefable, we're not exactly itching for a new Clefable at this stage. We got one in Unbroken Bonds. It really wasn't very long ago. It's not bad, as it happens. 1 colorless energy, 10 damage plus 30 more for each of your Pokemon with any fairy energy attached. It's fine. It's not particularly exciting, but it's alright. I know some people are trying to make decks with it, and I really hope they succeed. Magnezone, I mean, well, we kind of got 2 that are going to be legal post-rotation. We got the one from Ultra Prism, which is a metal type that lets you attach as many metal energy as you like. And then we got the one from Forbidden Light, which is exactly the same, except for lightning energy rather than metal. To all intents and purposes, they are the same card. It's just the typing which is different here. But it has been a little while, it's been a few minutes since we did have a new Gallade card. Now, to be fair, the last Gallade we got was the one in Breakthrough, which is awesome, saw a huge amount of play, but yeah, we haven't actually had a Gallade since then, so kind of, yeah, I think we're overdue for a new Gallade at this point. Now, the sad thing is that the rotation will bring about the rotation of Gardevoir, and the last Gallade was generally played as a tech in Gardevoir, because, as I'm sure you all know at this stage, Gallade and Gardevoir do share an evolution line, so it's easier to drop one Gallade in if you're playing Gardevoir anyway. But it's been a little while, we've had this entire format with no Gallade, so it's nice that we're going to be getting a new one. And they are often rather good, so fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen. Fingers crossed. Now, the next news story is one that I really wish I had more information about, and I don't. What I can tell you is, and thank the lovely Joe over at Cerebi.net for putting us in touch with this story, I can tell you that there is going to be a Sword and Shield card, which is going to be a promo that you get for pre-ordering the new games, Sword and Shield. And we do have some artwork, but don't get terribly excited. This is what we've got for the time being. So we know it's going to be focused around the trainers. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we've got. That's all the information that has been shared. Now, Sword and Shield is going to be a new block. And generally, when we get a new block, the design of cards does change. So if we go back to that previous Gallade, that is very much an X and Y style card. And then when Sun and Moon came in, let's look at the Cthulhu again. You can see that the design of the card is a little bit different there. Okay, they're still fairly similar, but you can see, for instance, a weakness resistance and retreat cost is very, very different, as is where they've chosen to put the flavor text. So we're probably going to get a new design of card when Sword and Shield comes out. It's not a guarantee, but it's extremely likely. So it's probably not that unrealistic that they're not showing us too much now. Like I've said, we're literally 5 weeks away from the World Championships kicking off as I record this, so we are going to be shown Sword and Shield cards at Worlds. They always have some TCG announcement in the opening ceremony of Worlds. My guess is they're going to announce either Gigantamax or Dynamax cards, but there's going to be some kind of announcement regardless. They're going to show us some Sword and Shield cards. I feel extremely confident about this. Although maybe they're just going to show us the fancy ones. Maybe they won't show us a run-of-the-mill Sword and Shield card with the new design. That is actually... I could see that happening. That they only show us kind of a fancy Gigantamax card rather than a normal card showing us the new layout. Incidentally, can anybody out there tell me what the pre-order promo for Sun and Moon was? Because there was a pre-order promo for Sun and Moon over in Japan. It was Snorlax GX. We got it in its own little box. In Japan, it was a pre-order promo. You got a copy when you pre-ordered Sun and Moon. And at this stage, I need to give a gigantic shout out to the lovely Thomas Birch, who I haven't spoken to in a while. I need to message that dude, who actually hooked me up with one of these as a surprise present. I ordered some stuff in Japan. He sent it on to me and included one of these as a bonus special present. That was pretty gosh darn nice of him, ladies and gentlemen. Lovely, lovely man. Though it does lead me to the question of who's going to hook me up with a Sword and Shield promo. Putting that out there. Maybe you live in Japan. Maybe you get your hands on one. Maybe you get your hands on an extra one. Maybe you remember your friend Wassy over in the UK. Maybe you hit him up on Twitter at the Wassy. Maybe you email him at ptcgradio@hotmail.co.uk. Just putting it out there, ladies and gentlemen. Just putting it out there. Speaking of cool stuff in Japan, how about something that I actually can tell you about? A new Pikachu promo card. If you go to a Pokemon Center in Japan, you are going to be able to find yourself Pikachu playing in the sea. How adorable is this card, ladies and gentlemen? And it is, the translation of the name is literally Pikachu playing in the sea. Though I feel like if it came out over here, they would probably retranslate it to Surfing Pikachu. It has also led to this ridiculous artwork of a bunch of Pokemon, and they're all water Pokemon, except for Pikachu and Raichu, who get to play even though they're not water Pokemon. And if you actually go along to Pokemon Centers, they've got Pokemon-themed games set up. How amazing do these look, ladies and gentlemen? Tell me you don't want to go to a Japanese Pokemon Center and join in with these games and then buy some packs and get Pikachu playing in the sea. I get jealous a fair bit that Pokemon in Japan have these Pokemon Centers that I don't get to go and play in. But then I find myself stuff like this, and the jealousy is, frankly, ladies and gentlemen, completely and utterly overwhelming. I want to go, and I want to join in with all these games, and I want to get myself a Pikachu playing in the sea. Tell me you don't, and I'm afraid I would probably have to call you a liar. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the news for this week. That's what we know. Lots of cool stuff in Japan. Most of it does filter its way over here. Like, we didn't get the Snorlax GX as a pre-order promo, but it did find its way over here. So whatever the pre-order promo turns out to be for Sword and Shield, fair to assume it's going to find its way over here at some point. So there we go. Tell me what you think about all this stuff in the comment section. Please go nuts. Please be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where we talk about a whole bunch of games that don't even have Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.